Doctor Who, Remembrance of the Daleks, the fifth story of the seventh Doctor, is written by Ben Aronovich and starring Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred. So yeah, this is my first classic story retrospective. Unlike the modern era, I'm not doing classic episodes in order. Plus, I think Remembrance of the Daleks is a great choice to start my classic retrospective, as it's considered to be one of the best classic stories, which I can see why it is. It's fantastic. And the DVD files I used to collect where they did modern era in order until 29. Remembrance of the Daleks is the first classic story on DVD files, apart from the Five Doctors as it's on the bonus DVD. So a script editor, Andrew Cartmel, who joined in season 24, who took the inspiration from Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes' era, including the Seeds of Doom and the Talons of Weng Chiang, to prepare and to make season 25 more serious and dramatic. So there's a concept known as Cartmel Master Plan, as Andrew Cartmel wanted to focus on the Doctor's past for season 25, feeling that as more of the character's own history, together with the history of the Time Lords, had been revealed, some of the mystery of the Doctor had been lost. And to celebrate the 25th anniversary, the producer John Nathan Turner wanted to set the story after the events of An Unearthly Child. Well, just after William Hartnell's Doctor, Susan, Ian and Barbara disappeared away in the TARDIS. Which I think it's a great way to explore more of that period of time. Cartmel recommends a 25-year-old writer, Ben Aronovich, to write this story, as he's never written a TV story, which I think is impressive. Just like Joseph Kosinski, his first movie he directed is Tron Legacy, and I really love that film. Terry Nation was concerned, but the story has approved. Originally the title was going to be Nemesis of the Doctor, but that's obviously changed. So we get a scary opening where the mother ship is flying towards the Earth. So after the opening sequence roll, the Seventh Doctor and Ace, played by Sylvester McCoy and Sophie Aldred, arrived in London 1963, where the Coal Hill School is. The cool thing is, their birthdays were on the same day. Not born on the same year, obviously, but yeah, it's crazy. So the Doctor takes a look at the aerial on the van and went inside it, and he meets Professor Rachel Jensen, played by Pamela Salem, who previously appeared in Robots of Death as Tooze, and I think she's great. She was considered for the role as Leela, but it went to Louise Jameson. Meanwhile, Ace goes to the cafe for something to eat, and I love the "Oi, Harry, customer!" I think Harry Fowler as Harry, the owner of a cafe, is brilliant. Shame he only appeared in one episode. Think of him as a companion. That'll be amazing. Throwing the food at Daleks to blind them. They should do his action figure as well. Mike Smith, a sergeant in the Royal Air Force, who also works for the Association. I think Dursley McLinden is great as well, and the actor sadly died at 30, too young. Rest in peace. When the Doctor examines school playgrounds, we have the scary little girl who's been mind-controlled by the Daleks. I think Jasmine Briggs played it so well. So the Doctor, Ace, Rachel and Mike meets Group Captain Gilmore at the junkyard because there's a dead soldier and something is hiding. Simon Williams played a great captain. I just love the Doctor calling him Brigadier, referencing Lethbridge Stewart. And Karen Gledhill, who played Alison, is great as well. Alison is Rachel Jensen's assistant. So as the two soldiers drag a dead soldier, one of them gets exterminated with their skeleton showing up, which is pretty effective. First time you see skeleton showing when a victim gets exterminated, as the modern series normally use that, and I think it's freaky, as Mike looks like he knows what's going on, as he obviously works with Renegade Daleks. We have a great entrance where the Renegade Dalek shows up. So the Doctor uses Ace Nitro 9 to blow it up. While Rachel, Alison and Gilmore looks at the stench and Mr. Radcliffe... No, I'm talking about the character, not an actor. Ignore that. There we go. Taking a destroyed Renegade Dalek to the base, leaving two soldier corpses lying around. The Doctor and Ace nix Mike's van, and drove up to Coal Hill School and meeting the headmaster, played by a fantastic actor, Michael Sheard, who played 6 roles in the show. Wow. Headmaster in Remembrance of the Daleks, Murgrave in Castrovalva, Law in The Invisible Enemy, Lawrence Scarman in Pyramids of Mars, Dr. Roland Summers in The Mind of Evil, and Rose in The Ark. He also voiced Orsino in A Big Finish Audio, The Stones of Venice. So the headmaster lets the Doctor and Ace look around the school while the headmaster is spying on them. I thought the person sitting on the chair with the computer is pretty cool, which we'll get to later, and I actually thought, for some reason when I first watched it, I thought that was Davros, but obviously not. So the Doctor and Ace looks at the transmat as the Dalek is about to materialise. The Doctor broke it, but an Imperial Dalek was already in the cellar, and the chase is intense, and we get a cool scene where it levitated up the stairs.
You are the Doctor! You are the enemy of the Daleks! You will be exterminated!
Ben Aronovich wanted to surprise the viewers to use that for a cliffhanger. After the headmaster knocked Ace out and locked the Doctor in, Ace woke up just in time to attack the headmaster and let the Doctor out. They noticed a chip in the headmaster's head, so they ran off. So while the headmaster fixes the transmat, the Doctor and Ace picks the bazooka up from RAF Land Rover. I thought it was pretty amusing when the Doctor attempts to put the soldier's pen in his pocket and the soldier was like So the Doctor and Ace went back in school and Imperial Dalek appeared.
You will be exterminated! Ace, be down! Exterminate!
So Ace blew up the Dalek. As the Doctor is burying the past and said out loud to Ace that she hasn't been born yet, and Rachel was confused with Ace smiling, so the Doctor went to the cafe where John, who's covering for Harry as he's at hospital to see his wife, was about to give birth to the twins. They talked about sugar and cut the cane, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, that's Joseph Marcel, who's known for playing Geoffrey in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I think he's great. So the Doctor collected the casket with the Hand of Omega. I liked the bit where the Undertaker said he thought he's an old geezer with a white hair, referencing William Hartnell, and decided to bury the Hand of Omega, and the blind vicar noticed the Doctor's voice has changed. So after Ace is left alone at Mike's house with Mike's mum, and I found it so weird that the announcer on TV said the BBC science fiction series, Doc, and then cut to the next scene with the teleprinter.
And Saturday viewing continues with an adventure in the new science fiction series,
Doctor Who referencing Doctor Who. They couldn't resist, so fair enough. Could be Doctor Anything, it could be Dr. Frankenstein, who knows. But yeah, it's actually bizarre. So Ace goes out and back to the school again to get her tape deck, and we get an awesome iconic scene where Ace beats the crap out of Imperial Daleks with a baseball bat.
Are you calling small?
And I absolutely love that scene, classic. Especially when she's like, who are you calling small? And then just batters it and smashing through the windows. And with a cliffhanger when she's surrounded by Imperial Daleks.
Exterminate! 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 Exterminate!
I have Ace action figure with the Imperial Dalek. I'm very proud of it. It may not be cheap, but it's worth it. The effects is done well for its time and the sets in this are fantastic. It does look like 1960s and the Dalek mothership interior is well done. To those who hasn't seen the classic series, I would recommend watching the story first, as it's a great example and shows how great classic series can be. The music by Kev McCulloch is fantastic. It's one of those soundtracks I would keep on listening. The casts are great. I think Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor is brilliant. Shame a lot of people didn't like him. I did. I've met Sylvester at the Comic-Con. First time was in 2014. And I didn't know how to react at the time. It was absolutely surreal. I said to him he was a good doctor and he said thank you. Sadly I didn't say the same to Paul McGann as he was busy focusing on other people in the line, so I didn't get the time. At least eventually I told him that 9 years later. The second time I met Paul McGann. I loved Sophie Aldred as Ace. She's one of my favourite companions and I think Ace should have a spin-off. That would have been so cool. So in part 3, the Doctor, Mike and Sol just ran in and uses a sci-fi gun to make Daleks scream and blow them up. So after examining the blobs and relocating Ace's leg, Radcliffe finds the Hand of Omega at the grave, and we introduce Emperor Dalek, who turns out to be Davros. So the little girl is staring around, and yeah, she is scary. I love the designs on both Daleks and Supreme Dalek. I thought they're pretty cool, and I love the special weapon Dalek. I'd love to see more of it. The person sitting on the Dalek chair operating the computer turns out to be that little girl who betrayed Radcliffe and operating time controller, which looks more like a plasma ball.
You were born.
Born to serve the Daleks.
So while they head out, the Doctor and Ace sneaks in and disable the time controller and puts a calling card on it. The Battle of Two version of Daleks is fantastic for low budget series. There's so many explosions in this. So the Doctor and Ace quickly heads back to the school while the Daleks are patrolling around in London. Ace and the Doctor finds out that Mike is working for Renegade Daleks. I love the bit where the Daleks went away and Ace called them wimps.
They're retreating, all of them.
Wimp!
So the shuttle landed in the school playground, so Mike is under arrest for being a traitor, but he brutally attacks a soldier and escapes. So the Doctor goes to the shuttle, and I love the bit where he puts his hat on the Dalek's eyepiece and disabled it.
Humans on the bridge!
I'm not human.
You are the Doctor!
So Ace, Allison, Rachel and Gilmore came to the shuttle, and the Doctor sees the Daleks' plan, and apparently they're using the Hand of Omega to power up the Skaro sun. So everyone left the shuttle. While Ace is following Mike, the Doctor contacts Davros with great moments. I mean, there's lines like unlimited rice pudding.
Powerful! Crush the lesser races! Conquer the galaxy! Unimaginable power! Unlimited rice pudding!
Unlimited rice pudding, etc., etc. Do not anger me, Doctor. I can destroy you and that miserable instant devils of planet. Sorry, got a bit carried away there. But yeah, that's a fantastic scene. Well, sadly for Davros, the Hand of Omega didn't go as planned, as it vaporized Skaro's sun and destroyed the mothership. Although Davros used an escape pod, so he escaped. Terry Malloy is great as Davros. I met him at Comic-Con back in 2015, and he's a nice guy, and I said to him he's absolutely fantastic, especially the way he shouts. So while the Doctor watches Supreme Dalek spinning around and disintegrating with a dark moment, the little girl, after she killed Radcliffe and Mike using lightning like Emperor Palpatine, was about to kill Ace. But then she covers her face and crying in collapse and as she's unpossessed. And the bit where Ace hugged her and saying, "It's alright, it's over now." That scene handled really well. The acting is well done. So in the end, everyone attended Mike's funeral. Ace asked the Doctor if they did good, and the Doctor said, "Time will tell." So, that's Remembrance of the Daleks. And I think it's an awesome story, my top 3 favourite Sylvester McCoy stories. If you haven't seen it, you should give it a watch. It is that good. And to those who have seen it and remembrance this episode, what did you think of this story, all 4 parts? Drop it down in the comments below, love to hear what you think. As always, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.